Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good afternoon. Welcome to the Graduate Open Day webcast of the Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering. My name is Basit Shafiq and I will be moderating this session. I am an associate professor in the Department of Computer Science. So the objective of this webcast is to give you an overview of the Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering and the different graduate programs offered in this school. We have 5 departments in our School of Science and Engineering. We have 6 departments. Electrical Engineering, the Department of Mathematics, Chemistry, then we have Physics, Computer Science, and Biological Sciences. And in each of these 6 departments, we offer both MS program and PhD program. So what I am going to do is I'll ask each of the panelists. We have a distinguished panelist comprising of the dean of our school and chairs of each of these 6 departments to give an overview of the school as well as the department and the graduate program, including what type of program we are offering and the different salient features of this program. And after that, we will be opening up for question and answers, and you can write us questions through Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp, if it's also available. You would know the link. So I'll first introduce our panel. So on my left side, I have the chair of the Electrical Engineering Department, Dr. Tariq Jadoon. Next to him is Dr. Imran Naeem, chair of Mathematics Department. And next to Dr. Imran Naeem is Dr. Basit Yameen, who's the chair of Chemistry and Chemical Engineering Department. Sitting next to Dr. Imran Naeem is Dr. Shahid Masood, Dean of the Sayyid Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering. And next to Dr. Shahid Masood is Dr. Muhammad Faryad, who is the chair of the Department of Physics. And next to Dr. Faryad is Dr. Ehsan Qazi, chair of the Computer Science Department. And next to Dr. Ehsan Qazi is Dr. Amir Faisal, who is representing the chair of Biological Sciences Department. And finally, we have our graduate student, Faiz Arbab, who is representing our student body. So with this, I will ask Dr. Shahid Masood to just give a brief overview of the School of Science and Engineering Department and our graduate program.
Thank you, Basit. First of all, I would like to welcome everyone who has joined us on this webcast, and we are very excited to share our information on different graduate programs with all of you. So the School of Science and Engineering started in 2008, so we are about 10 years old now, slightly more than 10 years. And the objective was to focus on interdisciplinary research and be a research leader in the country. So within 10 years, we have progressed very well. We are now well known in terms of research and some of the excellent initiatives and achievements that we have been able to accomplish in our brief history. So we have 6 departments. Each department offers an MS program and a PhD program. At the moment, we have more than 200 students in our MS program, which is a 2-year full-time program, and it can be completed in 4 years if you are interested in doing a part-time education. PhD is a full-time only program. Generally, we expect the students to complete PhD between 4 and 6 years. 4 to 5 years would be a more typical time frame. We have produced so far more than 20 PhD students, and that are mostly in the computer science and mathematics department, which are the older departments in the school. And recently, we also graduated student in electrical engineering and chemistry, and we expect that the departments of physics and biology would also be producing a PhD student this year. We are research focused, and we are a serious kind of academic environment that we want to have in our school. The students are expected to be here full time, and the research infrastructure is truly world class. So if you are serious about academic studies, you're serious about research, you really want to accomplish good quality education while staying in Pakistan and have a bright future ahead of you, I think LUMS is the place to be. So I think with this brief introduction, I would like to just give the mic to the chairs so they can provide more details on the respective programs. So Basit, if you could just.
Sure. Thank you, Dr. Shahid. So I will first ask Dr. Tariq Jadoon to give an overview of the electrical engineering department and the graduate program offered in the electrical engineering department.
So thank you, Basit. The electrical engineering program consists of 30 credit hours for the master's program. So that's typically about 10 courses that you do. You have the option of doing either 10 courses, right, or 8 courses and a thesis, which is equivalent to 6 credit hours. We have 23 faculty members in all, so it's a big department, and it covers broadly the entire spectrum of electrical engineering. We offer 8 streams: energy and power, signal processing, communications, networks, robotics and control, optics and electromagnetics, embedded systems and electronics. So we cover the entire spectrum of electrical engineering. All our faculty, majority, are sort of very, very research active, and you can check out their profiles. And the great thing about a master's program is that students get to choose a particular stream. It doesn't appear on your degree, but you choose a particular stream, and then you can take core courses in that area, as well as elective courses both within that area and across streams. So depending on your interest in the masters, we recommend students to take courses in a systematic way in 1 or maybe 1 or 2 streams at max, so that they have a coherent set of courses that they have at the end of the program. Many of our master's students, they get placed into graduate programs both abroad as well as continue on for a PhD within the department. We have more than 30 PhD students at the moment working across the entire spectrum of electrical engineering. So that's about it.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. Now I'll request Dr. Imran Naeem to give an overview of the graduate program offered in the Department of Mathematics.
Thank you, Basit. The Math department at LUMS is one of the oldest department, and it was founded in 2000. The department started offering the BS and the PhD program in 2001, whereas the MS program was started in 2015. In addition to these programs, we have a joint program in economics and mathematics and computational finance along with the business school. So math majors from LUMS have gone on to work in industry in various multinational corporate sector, as well as pursuing higher studies in economics, mathematics and the financial engineering. So the vision of the department is to contribute at a high level to the discipline in select areas of research and train students in a discipline to a level appropriate to their enrolled programs. So as far as the master program is concerned, our MS program in mathematics at Lahore University of Management Sciences is designed to prepare students for professional careers in academia and industry. Whereas the PhD program in mathematics is structured to impart world-class education in mathematics. All that is required on the part of the student is the genuine interest in the subject. High quality research and advanced courses are strength of this program, supported by the professional and dedicated faculty, state-of-the-art facilities and the funding opportunities. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. Now I'll request Dr. Basit Yameen, Chair of Chemistry and Chemical Engineering Department, to briefly discuss the graduate program in Chemistry and Chemical Engineering Department.
Thanks a lot, Basit. My name is Basit. I'm representing the Department of Chemistry and Chemical Engineering. I'm really excited to explain that what our department is and if you join our MS or PhD program, what it has to offer you. So I'll just go through the salient features of our department. One of the most important feature of our department is the high class, top class faculty that we have. The set of the faculty, the team that we have consists of people who are qualified from some of the finest institutions from around the world. So you'll get to kind of like work with these really well-learned individuals. The second important feature which I would like to highlight is the infrastructure, both physical laboratory infrastructure and also the research infrastructure that we have in our department. It's a state of the art. And the third thing is the environment, the learning environment that we have in our department. We are extremely student oriented and we take a lot of pride in the success of our students. We really want our students to be successful. Another strong point, another strong feature of our program is the curriculum and the content of the curriculum and the way we deliver it. So we primarily focus on the principles so that the student could kind of like evolve and learn the critical thinking and problem solving skills. Beside the excellent learning that happens in the classroom, we give our student practical hands-on training on the state-of-the-art research infrastructure that we have established over the years in our department. This helps our students to be successful in both research and research endeavors, and also if they take up careers in industry, so it also kind of like helps them to be successful in industry as well. Historically, our students, our graduates, MS and PhD graduates, they have been able to secure positions in government sector, both in academia and otherwise. We very closely work with the industry, which helps us to kind of like get funded research projects from the industry as well, and also it helps us to secure summer internship positions for our students, which gives them kind of like an idea that what it takes, what it means to work for the industry. Our faculty is highly research oriented, so they are engaged in high quality research, which is globally relevant, which kind of like leads to high impact publications. So students are also involved in all those research projects that we are working on, which gives them an additional kind of like a plus point when they apply for graduate studies abroad. So we have several examples where our MS graduates have been able to secure fully funded PhD positions in the leading institutions in the United States, for example, University of Massachusetts and others. So these are the salient features of our program, and I would be happy to address any other questions that you would have for our MS and PhD programs. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Basit. And now I'll request Dr. Mohammad Faryad, Chair of Physics Department, to introduce the Physics Department's graduate program.
So at LUMS, we have two graduate programs in physics. One is the MS and the other is PhD. In MS, we offer students training in fundamental, theoretical and experimental physics, and then they can choose advanced courses and research topics in several theoretical and experimental research areas. On the theoretical side, we offer research opportunities in computational nuclear and particle physics, computational high energy physics, and quantum control of open quantum system, spintronics, cosmology, and general theory of relativity. Also, we offer opportunities for theoretical work in photonics and nanophotonics. On the experimental side, we have several groups working in classical optics, solar cells, nanophotonics, and spintronics. And for our PhD program, we offer the same areas for thesis of PhD students who can opt either nuclear and particle physics, or cosmology, quantum gravity, classical optics and nanophotonics, in addition to quantum control and spintronics. So these are the areas that are available to our students in PhD and MS. In MS, our focus is to train our students so that they are not only well grounded in fundamentals of physics, both in theory and experiment, but also get half of their coursework in advanced topics in physics. So that helps our students to go for PhDs in well-reputed world universities with fully funded scholarships. In our PhD program, our goal is to produce academic experts that can serve in Pakistan and abroad, especially in academia, but also in industry, which is doing research in applied physics. So that's all that I have for now. If you have any question about our programs, I would be happy to answer them later.
Thank you, Dr. Faryad. Now I'll request the Chair of Computer Science Department, Dr. Ehsan Qazi, to give some salient features of the Computer Science Graduate Program.
Thank you, Basit. The Computer Science Department at LUMS is the second oldest department at LUMS. It was established back in 1994. We have 16 full-time faculty members who are highly research active and have been educated from some of the finest universities from across the world. Our faculty have active research collaborations both with industry and academia, including with companies like Facebook, Google, and Microsoft, as well as with universities such as UIUC, UC Berkeley, and Brown University. Our faculty has won numerous awards of international prestige and honor, and that is one of the key value propositions that this department offers. Like it has been described, the department offers two key graduate programs. One is the master's program, the other is the PhD program. In the master's program, we prepare students to undergo rigorous coursework and also provide them with opportunities for research. We have three key streams in computer science. One stream is data science, which offers courses in data analytics, deep learning, and so on. The other stream is software engineering and human-computer interaction. We offer a range of courses in this domain. And third is systems, in which we offer courses around distributed systems, security, privacy, and so on. And our master's students typically take three directions once they graduate. They either head out for their PhDs, and our students get fully funded fellowships in the past. So our master's students have gone on to very good universities abroad, including UIUC, Tufts, etc. And the second direction that students have taken is joining industry, both local industry as well as international industry. And the third stream, which computer science students are increasingly taking, is doing their own startups. So LUMS recently has won the National Incubation Center Lahore, which is right at the basement of our school. And so people who have innovative ideas for building a company can actually directly interface with the National Incubation Center Lahore, and students are taking that route. In the PhD program, we prepare independent researchers, and our students have continued to do world-class research. They publish papers in leading conferences and journals in the world. The department has graduated more than 10 PhD students who have, most of them have actually joined local academia universities in Pakistan and have also taken leadership positions in academia. Some of them have also taken up postdoc positions abroad, and one of the PhD students went on to take a faculty position in Australia. Our PhD students are well prepared to take up challenges of the next generation, so they need not restrict themselves to academia. They can join research labs. They can also join industry, where their research experience can be pretty handy. So Basit, that's all I had.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Ehsan. And now I'll request Dr. Amir Faisal, who is representing the chair of Biological Sciences Department, to briefly introduce the graduate program offered in the biology department.
Thank you, Basit. So the Department of Biology offers graduate program that is rigorous and it imparts knowledge as well as practical as well as theoretical knowledge in the modern biology. There are basically two streams of the graduate programs, both MS as well as PhD, and these two streams are bioinformatics and molecular and cell biology. Our faculty is highly trained. We have more than 7 members who have graduated from some of the best universities in the world, and they have extensive experience in research. So our main focus in the department, apart from teaching the best knowledge in the modern biology, is to provide the best research that is relevant not only locally to the needs of the country, but also they are relevant internationally. Our research varies from molecular and cell biology, that is structural biology, cell biology, answering questions that are relevant to Pakistan, for example, trying to understand how the HCV, the hepatitis virus, infects patients, or how we can treat cancer, to some of the basic questions such as how the development in humans works. So all our courses, whether they are MS, or all our programs, whether they are MS or PhD programs, we aim to provide hands-on training to all the students. So we have courses that train the students on some of the highly sophisticated equipment that we have, including confocal microscope, cell sorter, FPLC, these sort of things that provide that train the students in some of the best techniques that are available. And for the PhD students, we, as you, Ihsan, mentioned, that we train our students to become independent researchers that can take up a challenge, that can pose a question and then devise experiments to answer those questions. So this is our main focus, to prepare scientists that can address the questions that are relevant to our needs. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Amir Faisal. Now I would request our graduate student, Faiz Arbab, to briefly explain how is it like to be a graduate student at LUMS.
Thank you, Dr. Basit, for having me here. And firstly, I would like to introduce myself because I'm nominating the student body of MSEE program. So I'm second year student of MSEE here in LUMS, and the environment and the opportunities here are quite awesome because as a student, the background I'm coming from is a government institution. I'm from UET. So there's a huge difference between the government organization, government institution and LUMS, because at LUMS it offers a very rigorous curriculum, because in terms of academics, when I say academics, so it's purely academics, and the campus life is something else, but the academics, the curriculum and the academics, they're highly focused because when you say that कि इसके अंदर जब स्टूडेंट की बात होती है उसके कोर्सेज के ऊपर, उसके प्रोग्राम्स के ऊपर, सो यहाँ पे जैसे डॉक्टर शाहिद मसूद ने बताया कि देयर आर 8 स्ट्रीम्स जिसके अंदर यू कैन चूज. सो आई एम फ्रॉम द पावर स्ट्रीम. सो पावर स्ट्रीम इज़ जिसके अंदर पाकिस्तान के अंदर देयर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ स्कोप इन पावर स्ट्रीम, जिसके अंदर आप कह सकते हैं कि बहुत ज़्यादा डिमांड है. सो आई स्टार्टेड in 2017. I should be in the 4th semester or the final semester, but I took a semester break because I started a startup like 6 months ago. So having said that, National Incubation Center is also serving in a very good manner because it helped me to change my projects into my products, and I'm very इससे ये है कि हमारी जो प्रोडक्ट्स हैं वो माशाल्लाह पाकिस्तान की पहली स्मार्ट व्हीलचेयर की प्रोडक्ट जो है इंट्रोड्यूस हुई, और इसको हम नेशनल लेवल के ऊपर प्रमोट करें और हमारे साथ जो लम्स है इसको भी वो नेशनल लेवल के ऊपर प्रमोट करिए. सो आई वुड हैप्पी टू टेक एनी क्वेश्चंस. थैंक यू.
Okay, thank you Faiz for introducing or providing a view of a graduate student, and I'm sure there's a lot to come. And now I'd like to thank everyone for introducing the program. Now we'll take questions from the live audience. So you can send in your questions and I will read those questions and refer the questions to our distinguished panelists. So I have received a few questions, and I'm sure I will be continuously receiving all these different questions throughout this session. We'll try to answer as many questions as possible in our allocated time. So without any further delay, I'll start with the first question, which is asked by Amna Khurshid. And her question is, how many programs are available in the School of Science and Engineering at LUMS? And I'll first refer this question to Dr. Shahid Masood to give an answer, and then if anyone else want to add, they can.
Yeah, thank you, Basit. So School of Science and Engineering is a comprehensive setup in terms of academic programs is concerned. I'll just tell you briefly about all the programs. So we have 8 undergraduate programs, 6 MS programs, and 6 PhD programs. And the 6 departments, so we have physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, computer science, electrical engineering. These departments offer BS, MS, and PhD programs. At undergraduate level, we have 2 additional programs. One is a joint program with the economics department, and the other is a new upcoming chemical engineering program. We don't have an MS in chemical engineering yet, but we hope that in coming 2 years, we'll be offering an MS in chemical engineering also. So these are the kind of programs that we offer right now.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. And related to this question, I have another question from Muhammad Zakir, and he's asking how many specializations are available at SBASSE. So I assume this means what type of a specialized area or streams we are offering our graduate program. So again, I'll start with the electrical engineering department, and then we'll keep on going.
So in electrical engineering, you have 8 different streams that are possible: energy and power systems, electronics and embedded systems, communications, networks, control and robotics, optics and electromagnetics, materials. So these are the streams that you have available.
And you offer, I mean, these are for your MS program.
Yes, but
yeah.
On your degree, it still yeah. says MS in electrical engineering. So you don't get a specialization per se on your degree. Your degree is broad, which provides broad applicability, but you can then choose to specialize in any one of these areas. There are certain requirements that you have to meet for each one of these areas, typically 3 to 4 core courses, 2 to 3 elective courses within the area, and beyond the stream, you could also take 1 or 2 courses outside the stream in a related area. So for example, students typically who are doing networks take courses in communications and signal processing and control. So students take courses in 1 or 2 areas.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. How about streams in maths?
The faculty in the Department of Mathematics, they're working in diverse areas of research, and they are regarded as leading areas in pure applied and the computational mathematics. So we have active 4 or 5 working groups, and in addition to these, like some people, they work independently as well. So we have numerical analysis group. We got 4 or 5 faculty members in working in that area. And then we have differential equations group. We have mathematical biologists. 3 people are working in mathematical biology. And then we have some people are working in financial mathematics or the computational finance. And in addition to these, we have some people, some expertise in the pure mathematics.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. In chemistry, Dr. Basit.
Yeah, so the thing is that the degree itself, it stays as a chemistry. So it's going to be MS in chemistry, or it's going to be PhD in chemistry. So there are no streams as far as the degree is concerned. But yeah, we have actually 10 faculty members at the moment. They work on different areas, different fields which are at the kind of like forefront of chemistry and chemical engineering. You can divide them into two main areas. So some of the faculty members are working on materials chemistry side, and then there is a group of faculty, they are working on synthetic organic chemistry, medicinal chemistry, methodology development side. So if I talk about the material science, so there we cover almost all the aspects of material science, which include the nanotechnology, nanomaterials-based research, polymers-based research. Then we have people working with porous materials, developing, using those materials to address the challenges faced in health, energy, and in environmental fields. So on the synthetic organic medicinal chemistry or methodology development side, we have people working who are developing new drug molecules to kind of like primarily focusing on finding cure for most pressing diseases, for example, cancer. Then we have colleagues working in not only developing drug molecules, but also trying to understand the mechanism that why a disease actually initiates and starts, and how we can kind of like stop that disease. And then we have colleagues working who actually develop methodologies to synthesize molecules which are hard to synthesize, develop catalysts to synthesize those molecules. So as I said earlier, that the degree itself is MS in chemistry, MS or PhD in chemistry, but we offer a range of research opportunities in the most advanced areas of chemistry and chemical engineering.
Thank you, Dr. Bassett. Now I'd like to forward this question to Dr. Faryad, explaining what type of research areas or streams in the graduate program they are offering.
Thank you. So just like other programs at SSC, we only have MS and PhD in physics, but so officially there are no streams, but we do offer research in several diverse and cutting edge areas in physics. We have 9 full-time faculty members working in our department. So in terms of research, we offer opportunities for research in experimental and theoretical spintronics and magnonics, where people study the interaction of light and materials at atomic and subatomic scale. And also we have research opportunities in nanophotonics and quantum optics, where the behavior of nano-sized and nanostructured material is studied and how do they interact with light. And then we have recently a very young faculty member joining us who works in cosmology and general theory of relativity. So we have now research opportunities available in that area as well. In addition to this, we have 2 faculty members working in classical optics and electromagnetics, where they study the interaction of light with materials for applications in optoelectronics, solar cells, and optical sensors. And recently we have another competent faculty member joining us in advanced computational high energy physics, where the interaction of high energy particles with themselves and with other matter is studied. And then we also have a group working in quantum control and open quantum system. How do the nanoscale system behave, how do they evolve in time? So we have these opportunities available at this time in physics department.
Thank you, Dr. Faryad. Now in CS, Dr. Ehsan, if you want to elaborate on that.
Yes, sure. So the Department of Computer Science offers 3 streams at the master's level. The first stream is data science, which subsumes areas of machine learning, AI, robotics, computer vision. The second area or stream is software engineering, which subsumes areas of software testing, verification, human-computer interaction. And the third stream is that of systems, which subsumes areas of distributed systems, operating systems, security, networks. And so the master students can actually specialize in any one of the streams by taking some specific courses in the streams besides the core courses and other elective courses that they would take.
Thank you, Dr. Ehsan. Now, Dr. Amir Faisal, if there are any streams offered in biological sciences.
Yeah, I mean, the biology department offers MS and PhD in biology, but within those programs there are two streams. One is molecular and cell biology, and the other one is bioinformatics or computational biology. So the bioinformatics stream, there are two group members. One of them focuses on analysis of large proteomic data as well as cancer modeling. So they model the cancer on a computer, and then they can predict what sort of drugs, for example, will be able to kill a particular type of cancer. The other stream is the molecular and cell biology stream that contains 5 faculty members, and some of them they work on drug discovery and cancer drug discovery, as well as drugs that target viruses that can cause diseases such as hepatitis or HIV. Similarly, we have one group that works on multi-drug resistance that is becoming a big problem throughout the world in bacteria that become resistant to all the antibiotics that are present. That group also focuses on why the diabetic patients, which there are many of in Pakistan, why they are more sensitive to infections by pneumococcal infections. So these bacteria, why they infect these patients with type 2 diabetes. Similarly, one of the group focuses on understanding how a single cell can give rise to all the different organs in an organism, how a zygote can develop into a complete human. So what sort of changes at the gene level actually take place that make a single cell develop into a complete organism. And my group, for example, works on identifying compounds with in collaboration with the chemistry department to identify compounds that can kill cancer and overcome cancer drug resistance. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Faisal. Yeah, so just to summarize this, we offer our degree, either PhD or MS degree, in only these 6 disciplines, mainly electrical engineering, mathematics, chemistry, physics, computer science, and biology. We have structured our courses based on the different streams depending on the research areas. So students can take courses or structure their program by taking courses in their areas of interest and have a specialization over there. But in the degree, it will be mentioned only MS in computer science or MS in electrical engineering without any specialization. So I think that's important to clarify. I have another question, and I'll direct this question to Dr. Shahid Masood. So the question is, what kind of international linkages do the program at SBASSE have?
So the linkages that we have are at the level of faculty. Our faculty is involved in several international research projects, and they are in different countries, and that allow the students to travel and carry out some of their research and studies at some other universities too. So I am aware of students in the recent years traveling to Germany, several of them traveling to the United Kingdom, to the USA and China and some other countries. So we have linkages at that level. At the higher level, at the kind of level of vision and mission, we have support from an internationally acclaimed pool of advisory board, and the advisory board helps us develop a vision and steer the school in an internationally contemporary direction. And the advisory board contains professors from MIT, Stanford, Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, University of Maryland, and some others. So we have an international pool of experts at a very high level that help us in steering our direction. And at the functional level, we have faculty members who have linkages with several international organizations and several research and funding agencies. So there are many examples. I think each department would have a number of examples. We have grants, for example, recently Dr. Ehsan Qazi received funding from Facebook. There are faculty members who got funding from Google. There are faculty members who got the HEC USAID funding with a partner in University of Arizona in the USA and University of Cambridge in the UK and several others. So there are many examples in each department.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. Anyone would like to add, or this is okay? Okay. Now we'll move on to the next question, and that's a very specific question to Dr. Imran Naeem. So the question is, I want to do PhD mathematics at LUMS. Currently, I am enrolled in MS Mathematics, and this is my last semester. I have the highest CGPA in class. I have not attempted any GRE test, but I am interested to get an admission at LUMS and need to know if there is any alternate route for admission to PhD mathematics in LUMS without going through our regular process.
I think there is a formal process and you have to come through that, and admissions purely based on academic record and our admission test. So if you're able to complete, so if you meet the requirements, so definitely you can join the MAD, you can come to the MAD department. Of course, we have limited number of positions, it's quite competitive. So if you fulfill the criteria, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. So I would like to add to this. So we have a formal application process for admission in any of our graduate program, PhD or MS. So after your application, we have a graduate admission test, and our graduate admission test is divided into two parts. The first is the general graduate admission test, LUMS graduate admission test, which is called LGAT in short, and this is something similar to a GRE general test. Here that test will basically evaluate you on your quantitative skills, vocabulary, and also qualitative skills, something similar to GRE general test. In addition to that, each department has its own subject test. So we have 6 departments, we have 6 subject tests, and if you are applying to any of the discipline or any of the department, you have to take the subject test offered by that department. For MS and PhD students, after these subject tests, we prepare a merit list, and we also invite our students for an interview, and you have to appear for an interview. Interview is optional for MS students. Some departments do call MS students, others may not call, but it is mandatory for PhD students. So you have to follow all these 3 steps in order to qualify for admission at LUMS in any of these 6 disciplines. Okay, with this I'll move on to our next question by Abdul Nasir, and his question is, what are the specialization program for MS Electrical Engineering, and what is the eligibility criteria for the MS Electrical Engineering program? I think the first part of this question has already been answered. So I'll ask Dr. Tariq Jadoon to elaborate on the eligibility criteria for MS Electrical Engineering program.
The eligibility criteria is basically a degree, a BS Electrical Engineering degree in electrical engineering or a related area. For example, in electronics engineering, that is required. 16 years of education in that degree, and that is what is required. HEC recognized degree in that area.
Can I add something?
Yeah.
I think if you have an MSc in physics and like the ones that students in Quaid-e-Azam University obtain, and or a degree in mechatronics or a degree in robotics. So those also kind of make you eligible to apply for MS in electrical engineering.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid.
May I add on the?
Yeah, sure.
So I think there's another condition. The minimum CGPA in the undergrad degree
Yes.
is 2.4. If you have done your 4-year degree, and if you have done 2 years BSc and 2 years MSc, you need a first division in both of them individually in order to apply for an MS program at LUMS.
Thank you, Dr. Fayyad. The eligibility criteria is stated on our admissions website. I think the address is admissions.lums.edu.pk, and you can go to the Syed Babar Ali School of Science and Engineering, select the graduate program, and within the graduate program we have the eligibility criteria for both MS program as well as for PhD program for each of the 6 disciplines. So there are some general requirements, as Dr. Faryad mentioned, that you have to have at least 16 years of studies. So either you have a BS degree, or if you are coming from the Bachelors of Science, then you have to have a MSc degree as well. So we require 16 years of education, and we also require a minimum CGPA of 2.4. So this is the general requirements. Now, specific to each individual disciplines, we have listed all the different areas and degrees for each of these 6 disciplines. So you may want to visit our admissions website to get more information about our eligibility criteria. Okay, the next question is by Bilal Asghar, and the question is, do you encourage PhD students to come up with their own research plan, or do we work on already available funded projects? So I think I'll first ask Dr. Shahid Masood, and then you can elaborate.
This is an interesting point actually. So PhD is, the degree is awarded when you have demonstrated independent research of a certain quality. But the important thing is that half of the time, sometimes even more, is spent in identifying an interesting problem, and all what a funded project does is kind of reduced at the initial time. So then you would have a certain direction, but student has to come up with ideas. It's a combination. Student works with the advisor to come up with original ideas, interesting problems, and then find solutions to those problems. That's part of PhD. You may be able to maybe reduce a few months, and that's about it. So either case, you have funding or you don't have funding, you have to come up with original ideas. That's my view.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, anyone? Dr. Ahmed.
I would like to add that usually, the projects that are available for PhD students, or if you come up with your own project, that has to be in line with already, the research interest of the faculty that's already doing research. But we do ask students to present their own projects in order to identify whether they can put up a workable project together or not. So when we ask them to submit their application, we ask for a research project. The main purpose of that is not that you will necessarily start research on that project, but to identify whether students that can actually put up a reasonable project together. But once the project starts, as Shahid mentioned, you are supposed to come up with your own ideas, but they have to align with the core interests of the faculty that you are doing research with.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Dr. Ahmed. Anyone would like to add?
I'll just add a few bits. So the PhD students are highly encouraged to come up with their own ideas, and typically the faculty members at LUMS have a range of funding sources available to them. So depending on the students' interests and the faculty's interests, they have the flexibility to actually come up with new ideas, different ideas, even ideas that are different from one funded project that a faculty may have, because typically there's plenty of funding available to support a PhD student.
Okay. Thank you. And I think I would also like to add over here is students should have some idea about the general area the student want to work on. In terms of funding, at LUMS, we offer a fully funded program, or we offer a stipend as well as tuition fee waiver to our students. So the funding doesn't depend on the student research project. We offer you the funding, but it's always good to come up with some kind of a research idea. And in the interview, we would actually ask you to present your research work, whether it is the research work you have done at your MS thesis, or some other research work that you have done in your graduate school. So you will present that research work, and that will also help us to match you up with a faculty advisor, and then it's between you and the faculty advisor to define your research problem and continue on that research problem for your PhD dissertation work. Okay, so I'll move on to the next question, which is by Irfan Naseem, and that question is, what kind of social clubs and networking opportunities are available to students in SBASSE program? And I will first ask Faiz to elaborate on that one, since you are a student.
There are a lot of student societies in which students can take part. उसमें sports है, उसके अंदर academic हर department की एक अलग society है, IEEE है जिसे electrical engineering की, इस तरह there are number of societies जिसके अंदर लोग add on हो सकते हैं. Plus there are number of events जो कि ये societies arrange करवाते हैं, जिसके अंदर students can participate, either they are from LUMS or they are from outside from the LUMS. So there is a lot of networking opportunities available जिसके अंदर आप अपना exposure बढ़ा सकते हैं. इसके अलावा if you are interested in a startup, there is an incubation center, national incubation center in LUMS, जिसके अंदर आप अपने ideas को monetize कर सकते हैं.
Thank you, Faiz. So Dr. Shahid, if you want to add.
See, we actually encourage students, all the students, MS students and PhD students, to take part in the activities that take place on campus. The campus is lively, it's a residential campus. Many students, about 60% of students live on campus. There is some activity that is taking place throughout the day, throughout the year. And all the facilities, we have excellent sports facilities, we have a co-curricular office in the Office of Student Affairs, we have medical facilities, we have so many things available for students on campus, and we encourage all the students. By all I mean MS students as well as PhD students. And so not only the social kind of activities, but also there are for example classes to improve communication skills, classes to improve other kind of computing skills, for example, and we really want the students to actively take part in all the activities. So from university's point of view, everything that is available on campus, all the facilities are open to all the students.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. I'll move on to the next question, which is a specific question directed to physics chair. This question is by Arif Ullah, and the question is there an experimental particle physics research group at LUMS? If yes, what experiments they are working on?
So unfortunately, there is no experimental particle physics group at LUMS. In fact, there is no experimental particle physics group in Pakistan, because for experimental particle physics you need big accelerators, which are facilities which can only be made at the national level, and Pakistani universities are still not capable enough to have such kind of projects. But fortunately, we do have a group which is working in computational particle physics, which actually works in collaboration with people that are working close to LHC at CERN. They collect experimental data from LHC, and then they process that data to find information, let's say, about new particles and so on. And let me just add that in experimental particle physics and a lot of other advanced experimental physics projects, the experiment part is even less than 1%. 99% of the part of research is actually extracting information from the data that is obtained from there. For example, there's one LHC in Europe, and a lot of groups in the whole world, they get that data from there and then they do research there. And we are fortunate enough to have one group that is working on computational particle physics.
Thank you, Dr. Faryad. So the next question is by Arsalan Idris. And this question is, I am working at a lecturer at UTEMS Quetta. I did my MS from NUST. My research interests are in software testing, cloud computing. And my question is, do LUMS have faculty in similar research area? I am interested in PhD in computer science. So, Dr. Ehsan, if you can answer this question.
We have several faculty members who are working in the broad area of cloud computing and networks and software verification and testing. In particular, I can also name a few faculty members. So, Dr. Junaid Siddiqui works in software verification and testing in the domain of cloud computing. Dr. BASSE Shafiq works in that domain. I also work in cloud computing. We have other faculty members whose research areas also overlap with cloud computing and data centers. So, you're very welcome to apply to our PhD program, and we'll take it from there.
Thank you, Dr. Ehsan. And just to add to this, we also have a National Center for Big Data and Cloud Computing at LUMS, and we have a number of faculty members who are affiliated with this center and working in these areas. Okay, now we'll move on to the next question by Ruban Shakil. And the question is, what kind of faculty is teaching at SBASSE? Could you elaborate on their experience and expertise? And I will ask our student to answer this question because he would be the best person to judge us.
Actually, I must say that LUMS has the best teaching facility and teaching the best qualified professionals in LUMS, because there is I haven't found not even a single non-PhD professor or non-PhD instructor at LUMS at EE.
And how about your experience with them? Do you regularly interact with them? Are they available?
The experience is quite awesome because they're very friendly. They never say no. Even you knock their doors 7 times a day, they will never say no because they're so cooperative, and they will answer all your emails, all your questions, all your messages, and they're as friendly as you are.
Thank you. So I'll ask Dr. Shahid to add on this about the experience and the qualification of the faculty members, if you can add.
We have international quality faculty. If somebody takes a snapshot, look at the faculty list in our university in the School of Science and Engineering, and compare it with the faculty at a good international decent university in Europe or even the US, I think you will find a lot of similarities. So the faculty is trained in the best possible institutions in their respective domains. Especially in PhD is quite specific. So our faculty, without any doubt, is truly international quality, and we have a very rigorous, tough process of faculty hiring and advancement. And faculty really has to get involved with the students. Faculty are required to produce high quality, top quality research, and they have to go through very rigorous evaluation themselves. So I think the academic environment, academic ecosystem that we have in the school, the interaction that takes place between the faculty and the students, and how the knowledge flows in the classroom, in the laboratories, in discussions, in formal meetings, so many things, is truly world class. The experience would be equal to what you would find at any good university in the world.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. The next question is by Aqsa Akbar, and I will direct this question to Dr. Basit Yameen. So the question is, are there any opportunities for international exposure in terms of research while enrolled in SBSSE PhD program? The reason I'm asking you is because a number of our PhD students in the chemistry department, they go abroad for a semester or so. So if you can elaborate on that. Yeah.
So I think that opportunity is, I would say, is available to anyone who is enrolled for a PhD program at School of Science and Engineering in all departments. All of our PhD students, they do go abroad to stay for, like, let's say 3 months to up to 1 year and even longer. And actually there are funding opportunities available from, let's say, Pakistani government through Higher Education Commission. So Higher Education Commission has a specific program that supports, I think, 6 months. ITSIP is the name of the program. So it supports up to 6 months of your stay in any international university of a high ranking that you would choose. And there are other funding opportunities available also. For example, Commonwealth is sponsoring a lot of PhD students who are enrolled in Pakistan and also and the alums also. So in our department, we at this point in time, I can say that my own student Ikra Azim, she is working in UK and her stay there is funded through a Commonwealth scholarship program, and we are also working on another application from Commonwealth actually for another PhD student to work at University of Cambridge. So I think that opportunity is available to every student who is enrolled in any PhD program across SSC.
Thank you. Yeah, sure.
I'd like to add that, as a policy and as an encouragement, all PhD students, so so note my words, all PhD students can travel internationally to any advanced country, and they travel so at least once in their studies in the 4-year period, and that one travel is sponsored by the school. So from the school funds, the students can avail and travel to attend a conference or spend some time at some institute to present their research work. So we allow one such travel funded by the school.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. I'll move to the next question, and this is directed to physics chair. So the question is, I am interested to get an admission in PhD physics in the field of quantum optics. I have cleared the international GRE physics exam. What will be the procedure for me to get admission in PhD physics?
Okay, so yes, first of all, I would like to welcome the student to apply to our PhD program. As far as the procedure is concerned, the student has to apply through the regular admission portal that everybody else applies through. But for the admission test that we take from all of the students who apply, there are 2 tests, as Dr. Bassett mentioned earlier. So one is LGAT test, which is general, quantitative and qualitative test, and then there is a physics subject test. So we can give a waiver for the physics subject test in lieu of the GRE physics test if a certain threshold in the GRE physics test has been met, which I don't remember right now, but it's given on our web what that threshold is. So if I would suggest to the student to send his score to us, and we can tell him right now if he qualifies for the subject test waiver or not. But in the meantime, he must apply through the regular admission portal, and then we can, if his score is good enough, we can give him the waiver in the physics subject test, but he will still have to appear for the LUMS GAT test, which is the general, quantitative and English test.
Yeah, I'll also add to this. So if the student has also taken GRE general test and his cumulative score in verbal and quantitative section is above 300, then the student is also eligible for a waiver in the LUMS graduate admission test or LGAT test.
And as far as the area of quantum optics is concerned, I would say that we have one of the best physicists in Pakistan working in quantum optics. So we have people working in nanophotonics, interaction of light with quantum dots and quantum wires, and also people working in magnonics and spintronics, which is also a sub-part of quantum optics. So we do have 3 faculty members working in this area. So I think that the student would really have a good time here in quantum optics.
Yeah, yeah. And I think Dr. Faryad is being moderate over here. Recently he has won the Young Research Award from the Abdus Salam Institute of Abdus Salam Center for Theoretical Physics. That was just last week.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Faryad. So the next question is directed to biology. How many seats are there for MS Biology program?
So we have 25 seats for the MS Biology program.
That includes both for
That includes both streams.
both streams.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Next question by Ali Javed. Please tell about the stipend in PhD program and how many PhD seats are available in the biology department. So for the stipend part, I will ask Dr. Shahid to elaborate, and then we'll go to
Yeah.
biology.
So all PhD students that we admit, they receive a minimum stipend of 50,000 rupees per month. So that's the stipend.
Yeah. And how
And
many
there's no
seats?
and there is no fee that is required to be paid. So there's no fee requirement, and the students get 50,000.
And again, related to this question, do we have any number of seats reserved for individual departments?
At the school level, we admit 30 from the school funds, and some more from the grants that professors have. So number would be between 30 to 40 every year, and the seats are allocated on the basis of the faculty. So there are faculty members who don't have any students, they would get students. But generally each department has about between 20 and 40 students per department. Total students in the school are about 120 right now. So that's the distribution over 6 departments.
Okay. So Dr. Faisal, do you want to add how many?
So the number of seats for PhD, they depend on the funding that the faculty have. So it varies every year. So sometimes the faculty have more projects to recruit more PhD students, and the other times we have less seats. So it kind of is not a specific number each year. It varies depending on the funding.
So with 30 seats per year, on average, it's 5 per department.
Something like that, yeah.
So can I add in this way? So I know this is a question related to biology, but several people interested in physics would be listening. So I would just like to say that we had 2 faculty members joining us recently in cosmology, general relativity, and computational high energy physics, particle physics. So we have 2 seats each available in both of these areas that are available this year. So if there are people who are interested in this area, they should apply. And in addition to this, we have 1 seat each available in quantum optics and spintronics available as well. And there might be seats available in classical optics and optoelectronic devices. So in physics, we have actually several seats available because of new faculty joining in this year.
And Basil, I'll just add that independent of the seats, if you want to do an excellent PhD from Pakistan, you must apply to LUMS.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, everyone. Okay. So I'll move to the next question, which is also directed to Dr. Hassan. And the question is, can a graduate of electrical engineering, specifically power electronics, can do an MS in computer science?
Sure. If you've done a master's in electrical engineering, you can also do a master's in computer science. Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Hassan, for your quick answer. Okay. Next question. I'm receiving a number of questions, so I'll be very quick. So the next question is by Fayaz Rao, and he's asking, I am an undergraduate student of bioinformatics. I will finish my degree in July. can I apply for MS Biology considering my degree is incomplete at the moment? Now, I'll direct this question to Dr. Jadoon, who was our registrar. He is more familiar with the admission process.
So, if your degree will be complete, which means that you should be able to submit your final transcript by the end of July time frame, you can apply.
Yeah, so the answer is you can apply provided that your degree will complete in July.
Yeah, and see if there are any special circumstances, then I think you should write to the admissions office. They could be, so you may get an extension of a semester or some other thing. So I think I would encourage you to apply, and if there is some extenuating circumstances that prevent you from joining at the start of semester, there are ways to kind of help you defer by a semester or so.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid and Dr. Tariq. So the next question is from Mahvish Yusuf, and the question is, while writing a research statement, should we target any of your specific labs, or we can write any creative proposal related to our previous research? And I'll direct this question to Dr. Ehsan if he can try and have a stab on this one.
Sure. I think the student asking about the research statement when applying to the PhD program. And so the general expectation is that any independent work that you may have done at your master's level or before that, you are expected to describe that independent work and what you did and what were the lessons you learned, and that's generally what is expected. You may want to add a paragraph or two about your prospective research interests that you want to pursue at LUMS, and that's fine too. But primarily, any research experience or independent work experience that you have undertaken, that's what the faculty is essentially looking for.
Thank you, Dr. Ehsan. Anyone would like to add to this?
Yes, so remember that when you come for PhD, you will need to work very closely with the faculty member. So you should come prepared that you will work in a certain area, and that area, so it could be any area, but the area has to kind of have some overlap with the faculty member who is already here in the faculty to help you guide and to help you supervise in that direction. So if you ask me, then I would say that there is a list of faculty available on the website, and the research area of all faculty members is listed, and I would strongly recommend that you go through whoever is applying for especially for PhD. I think it's good if you go through the list and see if your interests are somehow kind of overlapping with any faculty member's interests, and that would help you in the progress of your work. So I think there is no harm in sort of looking at the research that is ongoing, different research groups and different faculty members who are working in those areas, and I think that would help you in completing your studies on time.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. So the next question, again, this is directed to Dr. Ehsan, and the question is, where do you see the future of AI research in Pakistan? Do students at LUMS work in this artificial intelligence area? Also, how is the general academics culture in the computer science department?
Right. So to answer the first question, there's a lot of exciting research which is taking place in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning here at LUMS. So some of our faculty members in the computer science department and the electrical engineering department have recently won a lab which is focusing on agriculture robotics. So they're building AI systems for improving the agriculture domain in Pakistan. There's a lot of work going on applying machine learning algorithms to other domains like health, informatics, and education. So there's plenty of scope for AI, both with respect to locally relevant research and internationally relevant research. In terms of the academic culture here in the computer science department and SBASSE at large, any culture essentially begins with having really good faculty members and students, and I must say that the environment that we have in the school and the department is really really good because we have passionate faculty members who deeply care about the work they do and excited students, and that ecosystem creates a culture of innovation and outstanding research.
Thank you, Dr. Ahsan. I'll have the next two questions, and this is a very important question, and I'll ask Dr. Shahid Masood to answer this question. Are there any need-based scholarships?
We have, so remember, so for PhD, it's all free. Students get stipend and there's no fee requirement. For MS, we have financial aid. And the university works on a financial aid model, which is that at the time of admission, so when you are applying for submitting your application for admission, at the same time, submit the application for financial aid. So university provides financial aid to all those who cannot afford to study otherwise. And there is a proper needs assessment mechanism, and the university would assess that and would provide interest-free and long-term loans and some other forms of financial assistance to help you complete your studies here. So we have an established system of financial aid, but remember that when you are applying to the university, the application for financial aid has to be submitted at the same time.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid. Now, in addition to this need-based scholarships, we also have merit scholarships. So, if you can elaborate on the merit scholarships.
So maybe I have,
sure.
I just would like to add to what Dr. Shah was saying earlier, that for the natural sciences at SSC, mathematics, physics, chemistry and biology, there is a 40%, 45% fee waiver, which is blanketly available to all MS students. Yep. So there is a 45% discount to begin with in the natural sciences, and then on top of that there are need-based scholarships, plus there are merit scholarships as you were referring to.
So merit scholarships are awarded to the students who score very well, the top 2 students in all the departments. So whoever is number 1 and number 2 in the admissions ranking, so you just have to work hard for that. So whoever stands at number 1 and number 2 in the admissions ranking, they get merit scholarships. And need-based scholarship is for everyone. If you are admitted, you are considered for the need-based financial aid.
Thank you, Dr. Shahid and Dr. Faryad. Finally, I'll take the last question from Waqas Ahmed. So the question is, I have an interest in high voltage engineering and MS in electrical engineering automation like PLC and SCADA system. What is the scope of this area, or what's the scope of LUMS in this area?
So, although we don't have a specific full-time faculty member in high voltage engineering, we have a very qualified adjunct faculty member who's also part of our energy center. That's something, our Energy Institute is something that we've recently launched in collaboration with the CS department, and it works also across schools. So we have a team of 4 or 5 faculty members working in this area. And for example, PLC, power line carriers, we've had specific projects which were done to sort of benchmark the quality of communication over narrowband PLCs in the Lahore distribution network. And we have a very active team working in the area of power electronics, as well as off-grid, as well as data analytics related to power. So there is a lot of interest, especially on smart grids, renewables, and this area in general, PLC specifically, but high voltage engineering, we don't have a full-time faculty member in this area.
Thank you, Dr. Tariq. So this was the last question of this session, but again, you may have more questions, so you can send us your questions through email or through our Facebook page. I would like, Dr. Faryad, do you have something to say?
So I would just like to add one thing. I was hoping that there would be a question that I can respond to in that. So there is one unique opportunity that is available in SSC at LUMS, that there is possibility for interdisciplinary research both in MS and PhD. For example, in other universities in Pakistan, you are enrolled in a physics department, you do only research in physics department with the faculty in physics. But here at SSE, if for example you are interested in doing research in an area which is, let's say, at the intersection of computer science and biology, and you have a background in biology, you can enroll in an MS or PhD program in biology and do research with, let's say, a faculty member in computer science, and let's say you want to do research in physics, but you have your BS or MS in electrical engineering. So of course, if you join PhD physics, it would be very hard for you to survive because of the coursework and qualifier exam. So what you can do, you can enroll in a EE department, and you are a PhD or an MS student there, but you can do research with a faculty member in physics. So similarly, these opportunities are available in all the departments. So this is one of the unique opportunity that is available in Pakistan, that if you want to do an interdisciplinary research, you can come to LUMS and you can work across the department that you are going to be doing your MS and PhD in.
Thank you, Dr. Fayyad. So anyone want to add anything? Yeah.
As far as the tuition fee is concerned, so I would like to mention another opportunity that's available in the School of Science and Engineering, and that's the students can avail the teaching assistants position, and we offer many courses at the undergraduate level, and for every 40 students we offer one teaching assistant position, and we prefer our master students to avail those opportunities, and that gives a very reasonable compensation. In addition to these, many faculty members, they have like the research funding, and they can also provide funds in terms of the research assistant positions. So one can cover their tuition fee by just taking these teaching assistant position or the research assistant positions.
Thank you, Dr. Imran. Anyone would like to add to this or any other comments? Okay, thanks a lot, and I would like to thank our distinguished panelists for taking their time off and answering these questions. So we actually believe in having an interactive sessions with the students. They can ask us these questions. If there is any information they need, they can attend these sessions or ask us these questions through email or in these live sessions. We will also have open days in different cities. We already have it in Faisalabad and Lahore. The next one is in Multan on Sunday, March 3rd. This is going to be in Hotel Ramada on Sunday, March 3rd from 11 to 5:30 p.m. So if you are in Multan or nearby area, you can come to that open day, and we'll try to answer any of the questions or queries that you may have. So with this, I would conclude the session, and I'm very thankful and grateful to our panelists as well as to you who are attending this session. If we are unable to answer all your questions, please do email us your questions through email on admissions@lums.edu.pk, or send us your questions or queries on our Facebook page. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.